They are calling people money. They are diverting the attention of the book of God, and we are seeing. Lakini sasa tunaona mambo ya Mackenzie. Lakini nyuma, we need to turn our eyes behind. Tuanze kuangalia the issue of the churches. Vile inaendelea. It is a problem. Kuna zingine watu wanauza pesa, wanauza property zao pia wanawapelekea. Issue serikali and the government and also the leaders, they know the truth. Wanasema wanaweka miracles. Zingine ichunguzwa kwa sababu just punish. Mtu amefungwa mguu, naona amepewa pesa, mguu imefunguka, anachukua anaweka miti yake ya kutembea chini, anaanza kukimbia. I'm not refusing, there's no miracle and there's no healing, but it has been used badly by the Kenyans, by the churches. We have seen it. Wale watu wote kuamini, I don't know how to mention them. These churches can they be looked at and be vetted without fearing? Ama to regulate mambo ya makanisa, even a body buy before any lessons, they can be able to pass themselves the body of the Christ. Ile watu wanajua mambo ya kanisa. And you can see now, the big churches are quiet now, because also they have their own problems. We saw them in the politics. Also siding saying, huyu ni wa kutoka kanisa yetu. Do you support a leader because he's from your church? Surely. Those are the issues we want to ask ourselves. Do you support someone because he's from your church? That is wrong. When we are electing leaders, tusahau mambo ya region, tusahau mambo ya vyama, tuchague mtu na manifesto ya chama ile tunaona itaweza kutusaidia. And then if we don't do that, we are seeing the problem. Saa hii mambo ya Mackenzie itakuisha. Kulikuwa Muliondo, watu walienda Muliondo, wanatolewa hospitali, they died, no action which was taken. So where are we going? Why are we not coming together? Tukubaliane, what do we do on this issue? Saa hii we are busy. Kamati ambayo ilishaguliwa kuangalia issues ya baadhi ya Azimio na baadhi ya UDA, Kenya Kwanza, waanze kutengeneza mazungumzo. They are busy for that. Now ningeuliza, they are busy waone vile wataweza kuchukua serikali kama ni Azimio. Utaongoza nani wakati watu wamekufa wamekwisha? I hope those things should also first be stopped. Isimamishwe. Waanze kufikiria the disaster ya nchi. It should be the priority. Even the parliament, it should be the priority. Discussing about the churches. Discussing how they can be reformed. Discussing ni kamati gani itaweza kuwekwa. Regulate. Maoni ya makanisa. Watokee tujue what can it be done. Because this is a disaster for this country. I'm telling you that. And it's going to affect politics. And the politics also is going to affect churches. Why can't we come together and look, what can we do?
On Friday, I'll be in Elgeyo Marakwet. And I want to apologize to the leaders, because sometimes we give very short notices when we are traveling to your areas. It is not intentional. Unlike my colleagues in other ministries, our ministry is a ministry run on an emergency basis. We cannot plan. Other people plan where we will be. If it is not Paul Mackenzie, it is the bandits, it is other criminals, and you don't know what they are planning and what harm they'll cause where. So every day you wake up, and depending on the security situation of the country, you determine where to rush. And even as I speak, I'm rushing to Busia today, and I had not planned. So I will be visiting, in answer to the question by the senator, I'll be visiting Samburu County tomorrow afternoon to find out if there are genuine cases of people who are displaced. And from there, I'll announce the measures the government of Kenya will make to make sure that nobody who is an innocent member of the public is disrupted from their daily activities, even as we continue securitizing Samburu and Kenya as a whole. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, the Honorable CS of Interior. Honorable CS, I have restrained myself because you are the very first CS to appear before the Senate. However, as you're aware, having served in this Senate, this is a house of rules and procedure. And our rules, more particularly Standing Order 51C5, a CS wishing to respond to a question must file a written response with the Senate 24 hours before they appear on the floor of the Senate. And when appearing before the Senate, of course, as a CS, you're supposed to read verbatim the response that you filed with us. And thereafter, if you have any supplementary information to the response you've given us, then you can proceed to do so. The design was given so that the senator asking the question has prior knowledge of the kind of response you will give, and therefore prepare himself or herself adequately for a supplementary question. And therefore, Honorable CS, if you appear next before the Senate, kindly we will expect you to first read verbatim the response that you will have filed with the Senate, and thereafter you'll proceed, if need be, to give supplementary information to your response as and when senators ask supplementary questions. But since you're the very first CS to appear before the Senate, I've allowed you to get away with that. Now, Honorable Senators, the CS has given a very comprehensive response, though beyond the filed response that he did. And therefore, I will allow the senator who asked that question, if he has any supplementary question, to ask. And thereafter, I will allow any other senator to ask supplementary question. Now, Senator Lelegwe, you, under standing orders, you have 2 supplementary questions. You may choose to ask them at once, or you may choose to ask one now, allow your colleagues to answer the supplementary questions, then you be the last to ask the very last supplementary question. Kindly proceed, Senator Lelegwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I confirm that I have received both the electronic and hard copy of the response by the CS. Of course, late, that is today morning, but I appreciate his response, and I'm sure the promises he has made to the Senate to tackle insecurity in security-prone areas, including Samburu, will bear fruit. Mr. Speaker, I choose to ask 2 supplementary questions now, and I proceed with one. Since you made the pronouncement to order the multi-agency operation in the banditry-prone areas, many cases of banditry have occurred in the presence of the multi-agency team, the security forces, without any action taken. And I'm sure the CS has this information, has this intelligence, that cases of banditry, killing of people, loss of livestock, stealing by those bandits, have taken place. And in light of all that in the presence of the military, in the presence of the multi-agency team, little or no recovery has been reported. Despite the success, and I agree, there is some levels of success since the deployment of these agencies. But the stolen livestock or the arrest of the perpetrators have not taken place. In light of this CS, what is the government's policy on recovery of stolen property, that is livestock, and compensation if the government is unable to take action? We have seen families having been impoverished.
Honorable Senator, of course, today is the very first time you're doing this, and I'll be giving a lot of latitude to both the CS and the members. But kindly, the supplementary question you ought to ask must be very direct. It is not an opportunity to make a speech, and then after the speech, you pose a question. Direct questions to the CS.
Okay.
The subject matter.
Thank you, Speaker. I proceed. 1, since you made the pronouncement and ordered a multi-agency operation in banditry-prone areas, many cases of banditry have occurred in the presence of the security forces without any action taken or recovery of stolen livestock or arrest of the perpetrators. In light of this, what is the government's policy on recovery of stolen property, livestock, and compensation, if any, if the government is unable to take action? 2, what measures do you plan to implement in order to guarantee the safety and security of administrators, in this case the chiefs, operating in areas prone to banditry? Is the CS considering providing them with training and arms to enhance their security? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, kindly proceed to respond to the 2 supplementary questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm sorry for veering off the standing orders. I was still in the past. In my previous role as a senator, I am guided. Mr. Speaker, sir, with regard to the supplementary question raised by the distinguished senator for Samburu County, I'll reply as follows. That it is true that we have had incidents of banditry even after the deployment of the Joint National Police Service and Kenya Defence Forces operation. I've explained why those attacks continue, because of a bit of a mix-up where we could have bandits spread out in villages, and although our officers are on ground, they cannot be deployed to every home. So we are looking for strategies to work around that and make sure that we mop out and finish that problem now that we know where the problem is. Mr. Speaker, we have made tremendous improvement in terms of recoveries of stolen livestock. Before the operation, we had very many livestock stolen which were not being recovered.